Everybody, it's Charlie and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone has had a great Friday so far. It's finally the weekend, which can only mean one thing. Leeds United are playing football tomorrow against QPR away at Loftus Road in another early kickoff. Just before we get into it, as always, please make sure that you are smashing that like button. It really does help get the video out there to more people. Please subscribe to the channel if you are brand new as well, and hit that notification bell so that you're always aware of when content is out on the channel. And of course, get your comments in, get all your thoughts and opinions on what you think is going to occur at Loftus Road tomorrow afternoon. So, yeah, as I said, another early kickoff in London at a ground that we are notoriously quite bad at. What could possibly go wrong? But no, in all seriousness, I'm glad that we're obviously coming into the game on the back of a fairly dominant win on Wednesday night against Millwall. I thought we completely controlled that game for 95% of it, and I thought we were thoroughly deserved winners. Isn't it crazy that Portsmouth actually ended up getting beat against Plymouth at home a few days after beating us in their cup final? It just shows you how much teams really do turn it on against Leeds United. But yeah, like I say, guys, I think QPR are coming into this game in quite poor form. I think they've lost their last 4 games in a row. And Elias Chair is a major doubt for the game as well after he came off in the game the other night against Middlesbrough, I believe. And apparently it isn't something that can be assessed straight away. It needs time to be processed and everything. So, that can only mean that he should be out of this game, which is a huge bonus for Leeds, as I think he is their, main creative spark, and everything that they do in an attacking sense goes through Elias Chair. But yeah, guys, look, I think we've all got a little bit of PTSD from last season when we went down there and got absolutely battered 4-0 in a game that pretty much killed our automatic promotion hopes last season. I think this season we're in a totally different place. Like I said, we're coming into the game in fairly good form if you count the Sheffield United and Sunderland games. Obviously, there's a little blip against Portsmouth, but those little blips are going to happen. This is the Championship after all. But yeah, I really don't think what happened last season is going to happen tomorrow. I really don't. But at the same time, I am quite nervous for it. Like I said, the history in terms of Leeds United going to Loftus Road is not great. It's not on our side. But like I say, this team feels different this season. We have shown that in games where we think are usual banana skins. I'm thinking Coventry away. I'm thinking Watford away. We were able to get through those games fairly convincingly as well. In fact, really convincingly, actually. So yeah, like I say, guys, let's just get into the team news. Obviously, there's no real updates on that front. I think he's going to have the same squad to be picking from in terms of a starting 11. The comments about Joe Rothwell after the game the other night kind of scare me in a sense of I think he's probably going to go back to Ilya Gruev tomorrow afternoon, which I do not agree with in the slightest. I think the whole Leeds United fan base is in agreement on this at the minute. Joe Rothwell, for me, should be starting every game. The fact that he came out and said that he can't play 3 times in a week, well, why can Brendan Aronson, why can Tanaka, why can Solomon, James, Pirot, why can these players play 3 times in a week but Joe Rothwell can't? Apparently it's down to a stiff knee, and that's why he's got to manage the minutes. And obviously Gruev has had a long, serious injury this season already, which is why I think he's kind of flip-flopping between the two. But we just lose so much productivity in the midfield when Gruev is in there. He's too stiff, he's too static, stationary, sideways, backwards all the time. Whereas Joe Rothwell is always picking up the ball, he's always wanting to drive forward, he's always wanting to influence the attacks. And I just think we look a totally different team with Joe Rothwell in that midfield alongside Tanaka. I think they complement each other really well. Gruev and Tanaka just doesn't work for me, and that's not anything negative towards Ayo Tanaka. It's all Gruev. he just doesn't add anything to that midfield. He really doesn't. And on the odd occasion that he does try to progress the ball up the pitch, it just isn't as good as when Joe Rothwell does it for me. And, just what Rothwell gives you on set pieces alone, is the reason why he should be starting. Obviously, Brendan Aronson is playing way too many minutes at the minute for me as well. But again, Farker has alluded to that, saying that it's because he hasn't got an alternative option at number 10. Well, there are other avenues that he could go down. You could put Ramazani in the 10. You could put Nonto in the 10, even Solomon in the 10. Or you could maybe drop Joel Perreault into the 10 and put Mateo Joseph up top. But the fact that he hasn't done that must mean that he doesn't trust those options. I understand why he plays Aronson, because his press is quite good and he can sustain it over large periods of games. But at times he does run around like an headless chicken, and when he does get the ball in creative opportunity, in like creative scenarios, he always makes the wrong decision for me, or on the odd occasion he'll make the right decision, but it's not consistent enough for me. His final ball, his shot, his passing at times, his touch as well can be quite poor. And I think we all know that he really does lack physicality in that area as well. There's a reason why Leeds United wanted a number 10 in January, and it's because of Brendan Aronson. Even if we'd have just brought somebody in to compete with him, even if it wasn't a guaranteed starter, just somebody to keep him on his toes. But he knows that he's going to play every single game, and he knows he's going to play every single minute. The one good thing about the international break coming up after tomorrow's game is that he hasn't been picked for the USA squad, which for me is a huge benefit for us, because it means that he gets 2 weeks off, where he can have a breather, and he can reset, and hopefully we see a better Brendan Aronson after the international break. It's got us this far playing with him in the 10, so hopefully it can still get us over the line. So yeah, my predicted 11 is Ilham Elie in goal. I'm going to go with Bogle, Rodon, Strauch and Firpo at the back once again. We don't concede a lot of goals with that back four. I thought Joe Rodon against Millwall on Wednesday started off really poor, a few balls in the first 5-10 minutes that he was giving away far too cheaply. But it grew into the game as it went on, I felt. Thought Pascal was good, along with Bogle and Firpo once again. The midfield, I'm sorry to say, guys, but I think he will go with Gruev and Tanaka, even though I think tactically and just, it just doesn't make any sense. It should be Rothwell and Tanaka, but I think Farker will pick Gruev for this game, especially because it's away as well. So yeah, I think he's going to go with Gruev. But if it's not working, we need to be seeing Rothwell much earlier than the 70th minute. And the three in behind the striker will obviously be Dan James, Brendan Aronson, Mana Solomon, and then up top, Joel Perreault. And I think that team is more than good enough of getting the 3 points. Even with Gruev in, I think we should still be all over QPR, but something tells me it won't go down just as easily. Like I say, I think Rothwell should be starting, but it's what it is. I think all the factors of this game just point to an Ilya Gruev start, in my opinion. But yeah, like I say, guys, we can really take the game to QPR with this squad. We have got way too much quality, but we had too much quality against Portsmouth, and look what happened there. So yeah, look, is a draw a bad result in this? Absolutely not. It shows that Leeds United will still be top of the division going into the international break, albeit maybe just on goal difference. Obviously, it's the Steel City derby on Sunday. Sheff Wednesday, Sheff United. Hopefully, Sheff Wednesday can do us a favour there. I've always rated them. Great bunch of lads. And hopefully, Swansea can do us a favour tomorrow at 3 o'clock against Burnley. Always liked Swansea as well. Great bunch of lads. So yeah, like I say, a draw is not that bad of a result, but we can't be going into this game thinking we'd take a draw. They're 14th in the division, we're top. We just can't be going into it with that attitude. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Leeds United win, a narrow 2-1 win. And again, if it's scrappy, if it's awful to watch, fine. just get the job done, Leeds, and we can go into the international break pretty comfortably. So yeah, like I said, guys, at the beginning of the video, please make sure that you are dropping your thoughts and opinions into the comment section. I'm always interested to see what you guys are all saying and thinking. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you are liking. Please make sure you're commenting and subscribing and hitting the notification bell so that you're always aware of when content is out on the channel. And yeah, like I said, I will be live in the morning at 9 o'clock with your match day warm-up show, where I'll be getting all your guys' thoughts and feelings going into the game. There'll be a review out after the game along with player ratings, plenty of content out over the weekend. So make sure you keep it locked at Chatting Leeds, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.